Well, my room.
No, the blind, the window.
Alex is.
It's
Oh,
the blinds.
I thought you said Alex is so white. Okay.
Wait, those are blinds.
Wait, what?
The blinds.
Oh, I
They're
thought
not
they were just
outside.
outside.
The blinds. There you go. You can kind of see when I do that.
And curtains.
Yeah.
You're doubling up.
Doubly
That's insane.
protected.
Honestly, when it's literally like blackout when it's thingy. When they're both closed. Great.
Hello,
That's
PTR, mate, and welcome to the PTR show. I'm
Hello.
Oliver, and I'm joined by Alex, Niall, and Lewis.
Hello.
Hello.
Thought I'd do a little cold open there. So let's get into it. What we've been playing since we last recorded PTR show. Niall, I believe you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the worst game ever called Lost Records.
Okay.
So imagine Life is Strange or any Telltale game, but just 50 times worse, and that's what you have. You have Lost Records. It's called Lost Records Bloom and Rage. It comes out in 2 parts. The first one's Bloom, and I have no idea what the second one's going to be called. But that was a joke, by the way, because it's obviously going to be called Rage, because it's called Bloom and Rage. But basically,
Bloom or Doom.
Bloom or Doom.
Boom.
The main problem is
this is by the Life is Strange people, right?
But it's
I
not.
don't
But
know.
it's not the new Life is Strange game. No?
It's not the new Life is Strange game. It is complete. It's complete. I don't know. First of all, I'm pretty sure. So don't know. They're just the publishers. They publish Just On as well, our other favorite game.
Oh wow.
And yes, the people who develop Life is Strange have nothing to do with Life is Strange or this. They don't have nothing to do with Don't Nod, I believe. They haven't made anything, I don't think.
Right.
But yeah, so just imagine. Right, so I played the first 30 minutes. That's all. Just a disclaimer. And it fundamentally messes up in one way, which is the character isn't just completely unlikable, but she's very, very hateable. I was stuck in a room trying to get out, and the amount of just silly lines and things that they made me do was ridiculous. Like, I couldn't leave the room until I took like 5 different photos of my cat, and each time I don't know how to sell how terrible this is. But it's just I thought, because it was on PlayStation Plus and I was looking for a game to play, and it was the only one on PlayStation Plus that's come out in 2025, which goes to show that Game Pass is indeed the best deal in gaming. Just to say, yeah, definitely. But it's just not a good time, Bloom and Rage at all. I would if you want a Life is Strange game, I would play the original Life is Strange, and maybe what was it, True Colors? People like True Colors as well.
Apparently so, but isn't there a new Life is Strange? Like, did you say that a new Life is Strange game?
Oh, there is a new Life is Strange. Life is Strange.
Well, you wouldn't recommend Life is Strange 2?
Well, Life is Strange 2 is different from the new Life is Strange, which is called Life is Strange Double Exposure. Life is Strange 2 has nothing to do with Life is Strange 1. Life is Strange Double Exposure. Yeah, Life is Strange Double Exposure is the actual sequel to Life is Strange.
Why the fuck did they call it Life is Strange 2 then?
I have no idea. It follows completely different characters. There might be some sort of link up, but like the problem is that the thing is, Life is Strange has Max Caulfield in it, and no other games have Max Caulfield in it apart from Life is Strange Double Exposure. And also, people say that game is terrible as well. The reason why people say that game is bad is because basically the first it's episodic, so the first 3 episodes were like decent. Not to the standard of the original Life is Strange, and then apparently, according to the developers, the publishers got involved and wanted to change a bunch of the script, and so episode 4 and 5 were actually just terrible. So yeah, the state of these types of games at the moment seems to be very dim. I can't think of a game apart from, what was it called, Duskfall, which has had remotely any good reception at all.
No, it's been a while since I've had Dark Pictures as well. But there is one due out this year.
This has really upset me that Life is Strange 2 has nothing to do with Life is Strange 1. I never knew this. I assumed.
It's just the way
It doesn't make any sense.
Never assume.
Never assume.
Never assume. Makes an ass out of you and me. But yeah, so the only games in that sort of chronology, like the main line, is Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a prequel to Life is Strange, and then Life is Strange Double Exposure. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I only barely liked Life is Strange once, like just barely. You know, it's quite insufferable.
It is, but that's the thing. The character you can kind of get along with, and it doesn't force you into being a this awful character. Like, you know, you can be sort of like your own Max. You can't be your own whoever this person is. I can't remember. What is the name? It's like, it's not Storm. It's like something similar though. That sort of ilk.
From what I'm seeing on
Lightning.
Google Images, it looks like
Rain.
it's very Stranger Thingsy. Like
Yeah,
Lost Boys
well,
type thing.
yeah, it's set in the 90s, and you could just tell that like they were pandering constantly to that nostalgia, and which I don't have. But from what I've heard from people who have that, like grew up at the same time this game was set, because the game's set in the 90s and present day, and it's about uncovering what happened in the 90s with your group of friends. Like you're meeting up again with them after not speaking to them for 20 years. You're meeting up with them again, and you're like uncovering the trauma which happened
So
in the past.
It sounds an awful lot like it.
Sounds exactly. It sounds like you accidentally described it and not the game that you were talking about.
But it is, yeah, it's not worth your time, and if you have to pay for it, it's not worth your money either. But it's definitely not worth your time, even if it's free.
Damn, a damning
so,
review.
Yeah. Indeed.
Cool. Alex, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little game called Metaphor Refantasio.
That was very realistic. Like,
I thought that was Lewis throwing up then because I didn't see. I'm not like that far into it. I'm up to the third area.
not that far into it, just 60 hours. That's all.
No, I think I'm like 35 hours in.
35.
I'm just cracking on, loving it. Great game. I'm gonna hopefully finish it within like 2 weeks, and then we'll have like a full review.
Without spoiling it, what's your favorite
Niall,
part?
and Lewis. My favorite part
About the game,
Without
just in
spoiling
general.
it.
about the game.
Yeah, just like mechanics or character or anything like that.
Oh God, Niall, you're putting me on the spot here.
I am.
I like the characters. I like Heisme. He's cool.
Heisme is the best.
He's the best. I like the archetypes as well, and having to like change it all up before like different fights and stuff, and having to use different archetypes with different characters and stuff, and like the synergies that it makes. I love like just spending time just doing that.
What me and Lewis talked about last week was whether you could go back to Persona, or like or more so with Persona 6. Like if Persona 6 didn't have the archetype system or something similar, could like how would it affect the game? Do you think for you?
No, I think I'd still be able to play Persona, and just I can like differentiate between the two of them. Like Metaphor is just an enhanced version of Persona, in my mind. Like I could go back and play Persona 5 right now.
Would it feel worse now?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played Persona while playing Metaphor. I've also not finished Metaphor, so I need to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing for me that's better with Persona, well, I like the theming more in Persona than I do in Metaphor. Though Metaphor does have a great story, but also I feel like it's just like of all three Persona games which I played and completed 3 and 4, just the pacing is so much better in those two. The pacing of the balancing, because as Lewis, who has now completed it, will say, is that it is stupid, the difficulty spike towards the end. Well, I think anyway.
I think the difficulty spike, as well as just the... I think like the last 20 hours of the game, both story-wise and gameplay-wise, are really weird. I think... I don't know, it's like everything was going at a really steady pace, and then you hit about 55 hours in the game, and then all of a sudden you think it's ending every 5 minutes. And the fights get really, really, really hard, but the game doesn't, not that it needs to tell you, but it doesn't give you a clear indicator of how long is left. So you kind of start stressing about what you need to do. And that as a result is what sort of makes everything really hard, because you sort of try and you need to get things done because you know this deadline is approaching, but you don't know when the deadline is. And trying to get everything done under that time limit, it just becomes really stressful. And the story, like I said, it makes you feel like it's going to end every 5 minutes. And when I say that, I literally mean it sort of goes like, oh, and one more thing, and then it does something else and something else and something else. And it just doesn't stop.
Without spoiling it for Alex,
yeah.
did you feel like there was a need for someone to get naked or pretty much naked? I didn't feel. I felt like it was unnecessary.
Wait,
Someone's getting naked. I'm
part
gonna
was
play
this?
now.
Which part was this?
Just the. No, okay, maybe it was just me. Maybe it was my dream. know.
Maybe you made it up. I'm
Yeah.
because I'm interested to what it is now. Write it in the chat real quick. Just spoiler tag it.
Okay, I'll spoil the target.
Just write because I really want to know. I really want to know the content because I'll probably remember it the moment you say it. I just can't think off the top of my head that happening. I feel like I would remember that. It seems like quite a significant thing. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it fit. It works. It's fine. It's not necessary, but like, is anything necessary really? No. So I think it's fine. It's nothing too bad.
I just felt like it was incredibly epic, like the moment, and then like all of a sudden, oh, okay, I see.
No, it's just,
I hope it's troll.
I didn't really think much of it. Yeah, it's just Stroll with his massive cock out. It's a
Yeah.
really weird scene, Alex. It's a difficult one to sit through. No, I didn't really think much of it until you just said it in the spoiler tag then, and thinking back, yeah. But it's nothing that sticks with me or nothing that's really
Stuck
that
with
big
me.
of a deal. Apparently it's haunted, yeah. I may as well just talk about Metaphor really quick while we're on it. The only game I've been playing / beaten is Metaphor. I beat it like a week ago and I haven't touched anything since, just mainly because I put so many hours into playing Metaphor every single day. I have both completed it and platinum the game. If anyone listening is intending on platinuming it, I honestly would just say don't. I tend to platinum most Atlas games that I've played, if not all the Atlas games that I've played, just because I really like the style of game that they do. And I enjoy platinum hunting and trophy hunting in general. But Metaphor's platinum, I don't want to say it negatively impacted the game, because once the game was done, like, I judged the game as a whole on like it's the first playthrough. That was the game. That's how much I enjoyed it. But having to go get that platinum really sort of put a downer on things and started just making me not. It started making me hate the game a little bit, but I know that's not the game's fault. But I just despise trophies in games that make you replay the entire game again. In order to get a platinum, whether that's because you need to replay it on a certain difficulty or because you need to
do the new game plus.
No, do like a new game plus, or there's like a secret boss that only appears in new game plus, just stuff like that. Trophies like that, I think, are just really pointless, really stupid, and I think they're really stupid, especially in like 80-hour games. Like putting them in RPGs and games where you're gonna have to pretty much sink another, like, at a minimum, if you're rushing things like 20 hours into it, I just think is a bit ridiculous, and I think it takes the piss a bit. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you don't have to do it. I didn't have to go get the platinum, but what Niall was saying was true in that he kept saying you'll lose the flow, you'll lose the mojo if you don't do it now, which, as much as he was probably joking, it is true. If I didn't do it, I would have completely lost touch with how to play the game, like both mechanically and just where things are, what you have to do certain things, and all that stuff. It was all still in my brain, so it made sense to get it done as quick as possible. But there was just a bunch of stuff about that platinum that was really tedious. It was a platinum where you had to basically follow a guide, and if you didn't follow the guide, you completely missed your chance for certain trophies. It was just not a fun time, and it sort of ruined the experience after having such an amazing time with Metaphor, and then the next 15 hours after I beat the game were just me sort of hating it. Because I was getting a trophy that I kind of wanted, and then as it got more into it, I just really, really didn't want it. But Metaphor itself is a great game. After beating it, yeah, it's my favorite Atlas game. It's the best Atlas game I've played. Unlike Alex, I think Persona wouldn't be bad if I went back and played it. It wouldn't necessarily ruin Persona. It's not like I'd pick up the controller and be like, this is shit, I can't play this. But it would definitely it would just be a worse feeling experience overall, and I think it would be made infinitely worse if the new games don't follow the combat that Metaphor has. I think that's the issue. Going back and playing older games, I'm fine. I could sort of detach myself from that, but moving forward, if we don't follow this system, it's going to be way more noticeable. And I think it'll just be a bit more of an issue. And I just think I won't. Like I said, I'll still enjoy it, but in the back of my mind, I'll just be like, you got rid of such like a good combat system here, for something that is just arguably worse in every way. But obviously, we'll just have to wait and see because we know nothing about whatever game. Actually, no. Well, they've got Persona 4 remake coming apparently.
Apparently.
Yes.
Which I think is silly, but it is what it is. It's not too important right now. But yeah, Metaphor is the only game I played. It was very, very good. One of the best games I've ever played, just ever. Full stop. Just of all time.
Anime nonsense. But I do agree with you with the trophies. Like a platinum trophy should be there to prove you've seen everything in the game, not I've seen everything twice.
Yes, no, that's the perfect way to describe it. Yeah,
like
I'm fine.
The Spider-Man trophy, you had to play that twice, didn't you? In order to get the platinum, like the first Spider-Man.
The first Spider-Man, I think. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure
you?
you did.
Not the first one.
I'm sure you did.
I know.
No, because they added New Game Plus trophies afterwards.
But I mean, I don't know. Regardless, I do agree with you. I like playing a game through and getting all the collectibles, visiting all the locations, or doing everything. That's fine because, like you said, it means you've seen everything the game has to offer. That's cool. Locking arbitrary things behind you have to play the entire game again, or just saying, "Yo, play this entire thing again," just so this bronze trophy can pop up. Is not. I don't know. It just sort of takes the piss a bit, and it sort of. I don't know. It makes it seem like the company just sort of doesn't respect your time whatsoever. Because people want these trophies, people want these platinums, people want to hunt for these things. But there's nothing worse than seeing, oh yeah, you've just got to play the game again. Because like you said, there's no skill there, there's no challenge. It's just we want you to waste your time. We want you to just spend an extra 15 hours for whatever reason to make it feel like you got more out of the game, and I don't know. I don't like trophies like that.
I remember beating that game twice when I first got it, and I remember the second time was a real chore.
Miles Morales had it.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, it was Miles.
That's what you're thinking of. Miles Morales had it.
Because I remember the day I beat Miles, I immediately booted it back up and beat it again because I knew I wasn't going to go back to it.
But what was the justification for doing it in Miles Morales? I can't remember.
It was just New Game Plus, I'm pretty sure.
It was just a New Game Plus trophy. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Straight away.
It was literally just play the game in New Game Plus, you get a trophy. That was it.
Damn. That's stupid.
And I remember really enjoying it, and then booting it up, and then just spamming through it, and it took me like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, once you get rid of all the cutscenes, it is very, very fast.
Yeah, but that's one of those things though. It's not. You're not enjoying the game or playing the game. You're just sort of on like autopilot, and you're just sort of trying to get to the end, and it's just dumb. That's not fun.
No.
There's nothing entertaining about that. And I know some people really like replaying games. I'm not overly someone in general to replay games like ever. Once I'm done with a game, I tend to just be done with it like permanently. And I know New Game Plus is for those people who do enjoy like playing those games over and over again, which is cool. But for the sake of a trophy, yeah, I just think it's usually not worth it. And I wish developers would stop doing it.
Agreed. So I've played a few games since we last spoke. So I wanted something short and like a little bit challenging. I played something called Lonely Mountains Snow Riders. Anyone ever heard of that?
No,
it's just basically just like a little skiing game. I think there's like 12 levels, but they are quite hard. I think you get through it in like 3 hours. I've been finishing the Dark Pictures games again, so I think this is the second time I've been through them now. Because there's a new one coming out later this year, finally, after like 3 years.
Oh, yeah,
of them being on
finally,
hiatus. But this playthrough has been a bit mad because my wife likes to watch me play them, but she doesn't like any of the characters dying, and it's quite hard in those kind of games to keep everyone alive without knowing exactly what to say at the right time. So basically, she's had a guide up on her phone telling me what to say in every single conversation and every single action. So
doesn't that sort of take away?
Oh yes, yes,
the
Lewis,
game
it does. It
completely,
takes everything away from the game. But I've said when 8020 comes out later this year, I've said the first time we play it, I'm not looking
you
at a
can't.
guide.
Yeah,
I
you
refuse.
can't.
I've got my original playthroughs of these games in my head from when I first did
Yeah.
it, and I know
Well, that's
who
what it's
lived and
meant
who
to do,
died.
yeah.
But she wanted to see what happens when everyone survives, so here we are. But yeah, so I replayed Pro Skater 1 and 2 as well for when 3 and 4 comes out. But other than that, it was just been the Outer Worlds, really. I played Avowed. I think I spoke about it the last PTR show. So I wanted to play Outer Worlds because it's just another Obsidian game. It's not. I don't think it's as good. I think it's good. I think it is good. I think some of the characters are really good, but it's just a bit bloated, especially compared to Avowed. It's just. Whereas Avowed, you can do all the side quests and it's enough to level you up and all that kind of stuff. There's way too many side quests and you get over leveled really, really easily. And a lot of the side quests aren't very interesting. But the main game itself is pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Are you excited for the Outworlds too?
Yes. Hopefully they're leaning more towards the Avowed side of things. In terms
Well, yeah,
of
because I imagine it'll fix a lot of the issues that people had with the first game.
Yeah. I just feel like Obsidian still, even though they've been making RPGs a long time now, they're still getting to grips with what they want to do. I think
People loved Pentiment.
Pentiment. Oh, you told me that was an Obsidian game. I'm still very surprised at that.
Yeah,
The issue is Obsidian just made too good of a game with Fallout New Vegas.
Still haven't played that.
It's
incredible.
It's just kind of hard to
Yeah.
to top it, honestly.
You should play Avowed. Everyone on this call should play Avowed. It's really good. I enjoy it.
Maybe I will.
What would you say?
I said maybe I will.
I'll do it.
Maybe.
Right, so we get onto the news then, fellas.
You can give it a go.
I can certainly give it a go. So I'm gonna play. So Niall,
Yes.
you want to talk about FBC Firebreak? I believe.
I do. Yeah.
Should I be watching a streamer?
You can. You don't have to. Well, you can do.
No, you have to.
I'd like to join in.
Yeah, so essentially FBC Firebreak is from what I understand, a kind of... I think from looking at it, it looks similar to... Most similar to like Left 4 Dead 2, from what I can tell, in terms of like a comparison with gameplay. You're essentially fighting hordes of enemies in the Federal Bureau of Control, from the game Control and from the Red Reverse.
That makes sense, yeah. When did they announce this?
They announced it 5 months ago, and then this is the gameplay trailer, which came out 3 days ago.
This trailer's really hard to watch. There's too much going on.
Yeah, so from what I understand story-wise, post-it notes are getting you. They're out to get you. And also you're dealing with the problems which were happening in the Bureau during Control. I'm not sure whether this is before or after Control, because at the end of Control, this problem hasn't completely gone away. So maybe now lockdown is lifted and you're part of the team which has come into the Bureau to try and help deal with the Hiss, which are the enemies. It's 3-player co-op. It is. And I don't know. And yeah, so this seems like it's kind of a buffer game which a side team in Remedy has put together using obviously all the assets and the majority of the programming from Control that just turned into multiplayer. And yeah, I think it's interesting because this is something which I don't think has Remedy ever made a multiplayer game.
I just want to clarify. I've looked at some citations. It is confirmed set after Control.
Yeah, well that does make sense because there was a lockdown, so I guess these guys couldn't have come in.
Oh my God, just post-it notes. It's just fucking post-it notes, man.
Yeah, it's that guy's called Sticky Ricky. Yeah, just to let you know.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay.
I'm a bit sad that it's 3-player.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, I'm really I still think that looks sick. I'm upset that it isn't 4-player. I feel like the standard for like any multiplayer game is like 4-player. And it's sort of taking the fun out of that because we're just not going to be able to play it.
Well, it is, but it isn't as well. I mean, Destiny 3-player, what's that one called? Warhammer, Space Marine 2, that was 3-player as well. The games like this where it's PvE, I think 3-player is more common than you might think. I don't know the reason behind it. Like, I don't get why 3-player and not 4-player. But yeah,
Could it just be a balancing thing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Could it just be
Honestly.
but they couldn't find out how to like make the difficulty like not artificial with
He only had 3 people
Yeah.
working on it. That was why.
Yeah, there you go. Now it'll be something to do with the fact that there was like someone who's calculating the cost of the game and how much it's going to make. Will have done analysis and found that games that only need 3 players probably do more than games that need 4 players because people have less friends. I'd imagine.
Does it have a proper story, do we know, or is it just like a hard game?
It'll probably have a bit of a story.
Yeah, I'll probably have some
Remedy.
story, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be more like breadcrumbing, I imagine. I mean, it'd be great if he sets up Control 2. Because if it's in between, then that would make sense, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. So who's not playing then when we play?
Alex.
I'll take the hit.
Oh wow! Oh wow! This is cool.
I've not played
Comes
Alan
out-
Wake or anything, so
Comes out
I've
on
only
Game
played
Pass.
Control.
Comes out on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
I'll just give it
Oh
a
wow!
Oh,
I
there
did
you
not
go.
know that. There we go.
That's really cool.
cracking. Yeah,
So,
by the way, this is off topic, but I watched a video review of Alan Wake the other day, Alan Wake 2, and he agreed with everything that I said about that game when it came out.
Sounds to me you listened to a wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like
guy.
you listen to just the wrong guy.
It was the guy who used to do Zero Punctuation. He does something else now. I think he's.
Oh
joined
yeah,
the
don't
channel.
listen to him.
Nah, he's right. He's always right about everything.
He's literally wrong about Alan Wake 2, at
No,
least.
he said he just
And
said
probably
he says it's a great story. It is up its own ass, but that's not necessarily an issue. But the combat is junk, and the combat is junk. It is shit.
It's not.
isn't.
It is.
It's literally
It's
not.
terrible.
I've never disagreed with something more in my life. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's right. Yeah, don't mind. No, this isn't the Alan Wake 2 podcast.
That's the thing as well. He's the reason why Alan Wake 2 got knocked out of the GOTY in the first round. It was your
ruined it,
false
yeah,
propaganda and Alex's gullibility. That's what it was.
I've not played it.
False propaganda. No, I don't think it was. Everyone's got an opinion, and mine just happens to be correct in this case. All right. Sure. Are you finished talking about FBC now, or do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, this looks great. We'll play it. Probably do a review of it, I imagine.
Cracker like him. I'm going to move on to what I brought to the table then. So I want to talk about the God of War TV series that is currently in the works. So apparently there's a second season already planned.
I hate when shows do this.
I am not sure how you can do that when you haven't cast the main character yet. You know what I mean?
think it just. I don't know. I think it's setting yourself up for failure sometimes when all these TV shows are like, we've got like 3 seasons planned, we've got all this planned, it's confirmed for this, it's confirmed for that. Just, you need to give us something about the show that you're making first. You can't greenlight 7 different things, 7 different universes, 7 different spin-offs of your favorite characters. Just give us the show, and if it's received well, then do something. I understand these things cost a lot of money and take a lot of planning, so you sort of have to like pre-plan everything and sort of say we're going to be doing this, this, and this. I get it, but it's really annoying when we've had no news on the actual show and you're already talking about different seasons. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. To be fair to the way that where this news came from, it was an interview for something else that the showrunner Ronald D. Moore was on. It was an interview for something else. And they asked him about it, and he said, "Right now I'm working on an adaptation of. There's a video game called God of War, a big title in the gaming world that Amazon has ordered 2 seasons of, and they've asked me to come in. So it sounds like they ordered 2 seasons straight off the bat. That sounds like to me." But again, that is still strange.
It's not, regardless of like the IP, it's not guaranteed. But bloody, what is it? Rings of Power is like the most insane thing ever created, and everyone hates it. No one even remotely enjoys it. Yet they've spent like billions of dollars on it and have multiple seasons planned. Like, it's silly. It doesn't make any sense. You need to see what the audience actually thinks of whatever it is you're making, and then just sort of go from there. I know it's probably way worse that way, but it seems better than wasting a bunch of money on something that just isn't going to be received well or make its money back.
Yeah,
like, I don't get it.
Amazon seems to have the opposite of the problem that Netflix have, in that they're giving things too much of a chance, whereas Netflix doesn't give anything a chance.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't give anything a chance.
After greenlighting everything in the world, Netflix then cancelled everything in the world. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But so while we're on the subject, who do we want to play Kratos? I know Niall wants Triple H to play him,
Yeah.
even though he's not an actor.
In all seriousness, I think Batista would do a really good
I,
job.
I was going to say Batista.
Batista.
Yeah.
Batista would be cool.
Because I think he can act.
Yeah. I don't think Triple H could act for Hollywood
No.
at all.
Batista
Plus,
can.
he's too busy to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like Batista, I just think it'd be nice just because I know he wants to. I know he wants to be like a fully fledged, respected actor. I know he wants as many opportunities as possible. So it would be cool, but I do wonder if he's even remotely on the radar for it.
He's talked about being typecast recently, but I don't think he has.
No, he's been playing a lot of
He's
farts.
played-
artsy fartsy
I
roles.
think he's quite varied. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if Dwayne the Rock Johnson gets it, then I'm not watching it. So I'm just not watching it.
There's no way they give it to The Rock. It just doesn't. It's just not gonna happen.
I would like it personally to go to the voice actor. I don't think they would, but I think
Like Christopher Judge, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Chris Judge. It'd be nice. They won't. A lot of these. I get it. Like a lot of the time, the actors don't overly represent the characters that they're playing, like visually. I'd argue in this case, Christopher Judge honestly could get away with it quite well. He's a built guy. He's huge. So I feel like it'd be really cool, but I also feel like, and maybe I'm wrong with this, I feel like voice actors in general aren't respected a lot of the time for their acting ability, even though what they do essentially is acting at its purest form. So I just feel like they won't give him the opportunity, if I'm being honest. It'd be nice
like
to see
in
it, but yeah.
you know, like how in Last of Us, Troy Baker and what's she called, Ashley.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
They both got like significant roles in episodes. So who would Christopher Judge get in God of War?
I don't know.
In that sort of thing.
I don't know. We don't even know what era the show's going to be in. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If
As
it's
well.
in Greece,
Yeah.
Do we know what? Yeah, do we know what story it's doing? Do we know if it's doing its own story? Do we know if it's following the reboot of game? Like, do we know what it's doing?
Well, the original or
I would be incredibly surprised if it's not exactly like the way they did The Last of Us, where it's a reimagining of the two modern games.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be. If
So
it's
you
not,
don't
I'll be
think they're
incredibly
going to
surprised.
Greece?
I don't think so. They might go there and take more inspiration from it, do more flashbacks and that sort of thing, and connect that more than what the game did. To pad out the episodes probably more than anything.
I think this is one of the issues though with like what Niall said Triple H, which I understand. It's one of these things though where you're not going to be able to you're going to have to find a middle ground because they're not going to find an actor who is built like Kratos but can also act really well. It's just not going to happen.
That's why I think Batista will be perfect. I think he is the dream cast for Kratos. I think he can do the job and he's built.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion.
No, for me, the dream is Christopher Judge.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. Let's go, man.
Chris Pratt could be a good Kratos.
Chris Pratt and Charlie Day.
I mean, actually, thinking about it, could Chris Evans do a good job? I think he could.
We've got to be careful there as well, in who they cast, because Kratos is Greek.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And Chris Evans may be the whitest man in the world.
He's definitely up there, isn't he?
So it'll be interesting to see if they do like cast a Greek person. It doesn't matter anyway because they're going to be covering him in white ash either way. But he is Greek. You know what I'm saying?
I'm familiar with what you're saying.
Come on.
Cracking.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Alex.
Okay.
Hello. That's me. Right, yeah, so Pokemon Pocket releasing a new set very, very quickly after the last set. I just feel like they're just pumping out these packs to make more money rather than like fixing some of the issues that like people are having with the game. Because I know, Oliver, you're a bit iffy about this new set. I don't know, Lewis hasn't even like really spoke about the game in like very recently.
No.
I just feel like it's falling off a bit, and they're just releasing stuff just to like pump more money into it.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken about it much because the game is sort of like getting on my nerves a little bit. Like I understand that it's a card game and this might sound stupid, but I wish the card game was releasing less cards. I think it's doing way too much, way too quickly. And it's just, I think it's getting frustrating because it's getting to the point. The first couple sets, I was
It
okay
lasted
with
ages.
because they lasted ages, and I felt like I had an actual chance to get what I wanted in the set. It's finally hit me, and the realization has like dawned that I'm not going to have finished the Dialga and Palkia set and the Arceus set when this set comes out, which means I'm gonna be behind 2 sets. Admittedly, yeah, it's not like I need 100 cards for the set, but I'm gonna be behind. So then I have to make the choice when this new set comes out: do I summon on the new set, or do I keep focusing on the old set? And then whether or not I get those cards is entirely dependent on luck. And I feel like I'm going to just get further and further behind from this point on. And I have pretty much not missed any packs since release. Like in terms of like the 2 a day, like I've pretty much always been on time, always managed to get them. And I think it's finally just hit me that like I'm not going to be able to get every single card. And some people might say that's not what the game's about. Um,
Can you
and
buy
like you
packs?
shouldn't be you can buy packs for real money.
I think that's probably what's going on.
Well, that's what I mean.
Well,
Like,
that was my point.
it's
Yeah.
like people can like argue like you're not meant to get every card, and I mean if you want to spend money to get all the cards, then that's up to you. That's just like a you issue, and I mean I kind of agree. These games need to make money, and you're not meant to get every single thing. But since like 90% of the game for me is collecting, and I'm not going to be able to collect all of these cards without being severely behind. It's just it's starting to fall off a little bit for me because of that. And especially since I don't know if you guys saw they're adding ranked as well in this
Yeah.
next pack,
Yes.
next set, and I'm still missing vital cards from the Diamond and Pearl set that are like meta in decks,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's just too difficult to keep up.
Yeah, it's the fact that they haven't like fixed trade, like they've addressed the trading situation, but they haven't actually fixed it yet.
No.
So even though like they are releasing new sets and we might have cards for each other that we might be able to give, the trading system is arse, and we don't want to do that. Like me and Oliver tried doing some like a couple of weeks ago. And it was like, why are you sending me that? It's like, well, I can't send you what I need to send you because it's not the right rarity.
Yeah,
Like it was just
it's a difference between the 1 and 2 star cards. That doesn't need to be an issue. Like should just be able to trade them freely when it's such low stakes cards. Definitely.
yeah, like the 1, 2, and 3, I'd say they're fair game. Like it should just be like common, rare, and like EX. You should be able to trade like full arts, like stuff like that. It's don't know. The game's just like a bit falling off. Like I'm still like I've gone back to the Diamond and Pearl set because I'm still missing loads of cards from it, and I don't want to keep someone on the Arceus one because I was getting nothing.
Yeah. So So when you put this in the Discord, I genuinely thought it was a joke at first. It is way too soon for a new set after the last one. Way too soon. But I think in my head I've got kind of half formed a kind of solution to the issue here. So the biggest issue for me is the fact that you can purchase cards with pack points, but each pack point is exclusive to that set. Whereas I think you should be able to build up pack points, opening other cards from other sets, and then go back and use them on the older ones. Fair enough. I don't. You shouldn't be able to buy them until the next set is released. Like you shouldn't be able to buy cards from the current set. I think that's the way to fix it. So you can only buy past cards, but you can use any pack points you've got. Because that way you're always building up currency, and you can always get it eventually. Just like in the real life game, collecting real life cards, no one just collects a full set from packs. That's not the way it's done because it's almost impossible without spending thousands of pounds. So people just go and buy individual cards off Card Market, and that's the way we should be able to do it. Because us three do not play the game to battle, we play the game to collect, and if we can't collect it all, then it's going to drop off. We're just going to stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's sad. Like I know a lot of people will just say you're complaining for the sake of complaining, and it's like fair. You view the game differently. It is what it is. But like Oliver just said, at least to us, the whole fun of the game is collecting everything, and coming to this slow realization that I'm just not going to be able to collect everything efficiently. Yeah, it just sort of dampens things. It's just not what I want. I want the opportunity to be able to collect these cards and show them off and go, look what I've got. This. I don't want to log on every day, do my 2 packs, get absolutely nothing, and then just sort of just sit there and go, right, okay, cool, and then turn the game off. But again, I'm sure a lot of other people would disagree with this point and just be like, get good, use different decks, enjoy it for what it is, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
No.
I enjoyed the game the first couple of months. I'm definitely just enjoying it less as time goes on.
Like, fair enough, it is just like you say, logging on twice a day, and it shouldn't be that much of a deal, but it is genuinely disheartening when you log on twice and you get nothing at all.
No, it's devastating.
But so this is why, at least with if the increase the amount of pack points you get per pack as well, like that will be, you are getting something that you can then use later down the line.
And it's just one big pool, and you're like, right, okay, I'm gonna get the Mewtwo EX that I still haven't got from Genetic Apex, for example.
Exactly. It's still going to take a long time to save them up, but at least you can use them because as soon as you move on to another set, you stop saving for the old set, so those points are then useless.
Yeah, I've still got some from like Genetic Apex and Mythical Island that are just not going to get used.
Exactly.
I really don't think it would hurt the economy of the game if they just let you use pack points wherever you want. I think it's silly that they don't.
Yeah, exactly. But to talk about the actual news of the thing, so it's coming. So it's the pack's called Shiny and Revelry. It's going to have 110 cards in it, so it is a smaller one, and it is coming on March the 26th, 2025. What are we? So I did just put a video up of it briefly. What do we like? Do we like the pack? What we're seeing so far?
It looks decent. I like shiny
Pokemon.
So...
It's just
that's the thing, is I like shiny Pokemon. So I mean, it's a cool set. I have nothing against what the set is. Like the actual set itself, I think is sick. I just don't care that there's more packs coming. I'm just not mentally prepared for more packs. But I'll give it to the TCG Pocket game. The card art is always incredible.
Yeah.
Considering it's all made for this game and it's all completely unique, it's really, 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 really top tier art. Like I genuinely respect what they do.
Some of them are stolen from actual cards. Like I was like cleaning my room out, obviously, and I found a Pikachu card that is from the Triumphant Light.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Sent me a picture of it, and I was like, that looks fake because it was on like the wrong side or something like that. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Just release things slow, man.
Yeah.
Just let things fester longer. Just let it sit. We don't need new cards. I'm sure people are still spending money constantly. It's
oh
Pokemon.
yeah, 100%.
It's
like give us like a 2-month break after this set comes out. Yeah. I'm sure people will go they'll do this set. They'll probably go back to the Arceus set, and then they'll probably even go back to the Dialga set because I still haven't finished the Dialga set.
I think I'm missing about 12, 13 cards from that still.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
I think I'm missing 6 from Arceus. Right, shall we move on to Lewis's? So, Lewis, your topic is almost certainly going to run into the main topic of the show, but that is fine. But you go for it.
So the other day, I don't know if this was on Microsoft's website or what, but they basically, as you can see on the screen here, they uploaded, or there was at least an image on the website, showcasing, I guess, like the Xbox ecosystem. And on that, there was a completely new UI for the Xbox app showcasing Steam games. And I believe basically any game that's already installed on your PC. And it seems like, I don't know if this is coming soon or if this is genuinely just a concept, but it seems like the idea behind it is that Microsoft basically wants to be like an all-in-one hub for games, at least on PC, or maybe like across PC and console as well, where you can access not only your Xbox games, but your Steam games, your Epic games, I assume whatever other sort of launchers you've got installed on your computer, and it will all launch through one app. And if this is what is the actual goal and what is happening here, I think that's really good. the Xbox app at the minute is really lackluster and really garbage. It's not good. The PC app that is really difficult to find things. It doesn't present things very well, and it also like crashes a bunch, and it's just sort of shit and laggy. So changing it up completely for starters would be really nice. But if they actually implement it, or implement into it the idea that you can just access any stuff that you own all in one place, I think that can be really good. I think that can be really, really, really helpful going forward. I know things like that exist, like third-party stuff exists already on PC for stuff like that, where you can all launch it through one thing. But having like an official, having like an official app that's supported by like a company with a ton of money, I just think that could be really helpful for like the future and just moving forward. Because things have way too many launchers nowadays. They have way too many launchers. There's way too many different ways to access your games, and across multiple devices, it makes it very difficult. Even if we're just talking like the Steam Deck, for example, you can't access any of your Epic stuff on Steam Deck unless you start like messing about a ton. You can't access your Game Pass stuff on Steam. It's just one of those things where it's just kind of difficult. So if Xbox can actually create this all-in-one hub, and give people a way to actually just enjoy the games that they own wherever they want, however they want, I don't know. That's nothing but positives in my opinion. I don't really see any negatives towards it.
I have some questions. Well, I have a question. I have like two statements. So first of all, you mentioned that there is third-party solutions to this already. So one of those is Play Night. It is very, very good. It already does this very, very well. The issue here is I do not think if it works like Play Night, if it's a similar thing, it's not going to get rid of those launchers. It is just going to send a signal to the launcher to start the game.
Boot the launcher.
Yeah, so right. The launcher still needs to be open on the PC, or else it won't work. The question I have though is and this image we're looking at here, it's on a TV.
It is actually, yeah.
Why is it on a TV? You know what I mean? Like how would Steam games work? Because because there's no PC listed there apart from the laptop. Obviously, that's separate. It's making it like the console, like the Steam page or whatever is on the console. How the fuck would that work?
Unless it's a cloud-based thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe. No, that would make sense.
If it's completely cloud-based and just like that would make it, because it's showing the same display on the phone, the tablet, the laptop, and the TV, and then your Steam Deck or whatever. It would make more sense that it's cloud, because like you just said, then there'd be no way for that to work across consoles, at least. Like your Steam library and stuff. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Well, it's like a mate of mine mentioned this to me the other day. It's like, oh no, yeah, the Steam's coming to Xbox. I don't think it means what you think it means.
No, I don't think it means that. No, I don't think they're like collabing with Steam and Epic Games, and it's like all these things will truly be linked.
Yeah.
I think it will just be like an all-in-one hub where you can access all of your stuff from one interface, which is very good. It's very helpful. Like you just brought up, I mean, I think it's a bit annoying if it still has to go through all the launches and stuff, because it doesn't really fix an issue. Because I think one of the things, or the main thing that people don't like about like having all these games on like a PC and whatever, is the 17 different launches that you have to have in order to play any of them. And even though this would provide like an easier way to access them, still having to load up those launches and stuff would be annoying. But I mean, if anyone can make this an efficient system, though, it would be Microsoft, because again, they have money, they have lots and lots of money, and they understand technology. I mean, it's Microsoft. So if anyone was capable of doing it or doing something like that, and like removing the idea of launchers and just things like that, then I mean, Xbox would be the ones who would be able to do it.
Yeah,
and I mean, considering Xbox have sort of given up with the whole Xbox thing in general now. I think spending their time and putting effort into stuff like this is just way more beneficial to them. It's helpful.
It is definitely, and it would be great if it does work that way. But it's just you got to look at it from a support point of view as well. So if these games suddenly start launching through the Xbox app without opening a separate launcher, then Microsoft have to support that. They have to. That it's them. If something goes wrong with that, then it will be them that the user has to go to fix it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But one more thing I want to say is that Xbox looks really nice.
Which one?
It does.
It's
one
green
with
and
the blur
sparkly.
on it.
Yeah.
It literally just looks like someone dropped glitter on it.
Yeah,
It's not...
and I'm fucking,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Paint
It's-
splatter.
yeah.
You could do that yourself if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
I'm
it won't
sure.
look as good as that though, would it? I don't think it'd be quite as even, but I think it looks good.
But yeah, I don't know. It was this was a leak, I think, or not a leak. Like I said, it was on their website, and then they removed it, and they haven't commented on it since. Like different news outlets have contacted them and said what was that, but they just haven't.
Maybe
just
part of
haven't
that reason is the fact that they clearly has shown on a TV screen. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, yeah.
And the first thing someone's going to ask is, what the fuck? What does that mean?
That might be part of it, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be cool to see whatever they're doing with that. See what Xbox is cooking.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's good.
Cool. Speaking about what Xbox is cooking, Niall,
Hello.
brother, this was originally going to be your topic, wasn't it?
It was, but it's a pretty big one, isn't it? I suppose. So I might as well make it the main bloody story.
Make it the main story. The big cheese. Still workshopping names.
Yeah. So basically, Xbox have come out, and apparently, by the end of 2025, we are going to have a third-party handheld which runs Microsoft/Xbox software on it. So it is essentially a Xbox handheld machine, which is pretty interesting. It'll probably be Lenovo or something like that that pick it up. It'll be kind of like, the Microsoft Surface of gaming handhelds, where it'll be Microsoft's, DNA, but the hardware will be made by someone else. However, what's way more interesting is, first of all, I don't know why it's not bigger news, they've confirmed that not the sequel, not the predecessor, successor, that's it, to the Series S and X, and it's been confirmed that it's going to be a premium successor, so most likely just a successor to the X, is going to be coming in 2027, and that is alongside a first-party manufactured handheld as well.
When we say successor, are we talking like Xbox 360 to Xbox One type thing, or are we talking like a PS5 Pro to the PS5?
They didn't confirm that either way, but their wording more lent towards the next
console.
generation.
Yeah, okay,
okay. Yeah, and then that coming out with a handheld as well, which that's the thing I'm more interested in.
Yeah, I believe that every new generation from Xbox, as long as they start making consoles, is just going to be a Pro at this point. In terms of, it's not going to iterate on it as we have expected them to, like from the PS4 to the PS5. That's a bigger iteration. I genuinely just believe it's just going to be a more powerful Xbox series as it goes on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think anything's really going to change with the consoles. The OS is going to carry over between them. It's just going to have more juice to it.
Well, that's the thing. I think what their strategy, what they want to do, is very similar to Valve's strategy with the Steam Deck. Is they want to get their platform into as many hands as possible, and they want Game Pass on the go as easy as possible. And the people, the more casual people, the way they will do, because there are ways around it. The way they'll want to do that is by picking up a handheld made by Microsoft, and then they can play Game Pass on the go. That'll be the reason why I buy it.
Right, so 2025 is when the you say that it says here Xbox branded, that'll be a third party one, and then later 2027 is when the Xbox actual handhelds. Is this actually come from Microsoft?
Yeah, and it's
why isn't this bigger news?
Are you sure it's come from Microsoft? It's not a report.
I don't know. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, so someone could have asked them a question, answered it, and then made a report. You know what I mean?
From what I'm seeing, it's from Windows Central, which I believe are reputable.
There you go.
So maybe that's why it's not bigger news. It's just the fact that it's not a.
Microsoft is yet to comment on the report.
Yeah, but Windows Central. I mean, come on, everyone's heard of them.
Oh no! However, its gaming executives have spoken publicly about the devices in vague terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been brought up that it exists, the handheld.
Yeah.
They just haven't specifically said.
I think it's also really smart as well, because they'll get a lot of data and feedback from the less risky play, which is the third-party handheld. and then that should hopefully make their first party handheld much better.
I mean, this, I will say, this makes sense. The whole handheld, that we already know this, but like the PS Vita, the PSP, the DS, they were all like way ahead of the time in my opinion, like in terms of what they did, and I think we're full circling back round to that. Like, I think the idea of a handheld that can play console quality games is once again an idea that people are very, very much into. It sort of died for like 10 years. And now it's like come back with like a massive resurgence, because I know PlayStation have also got plans to do something more along the lines of the PSP, because the PlayStation Portal did so well. And they want to make a device that's like actually like got hardware in it that's capable of playing games and isn't just like a cloud-based system. And I think we're going to see this from pretty much everyone moving forward. I think we probably have the Switch to thank for it, if I'm being honest. Well, there's the Steam Deck as well, but I think the Steam Deck only exists because of the Switch. I think the Switch is what caused that in the first place. But moving forward, yeah, I think we're going to see all these companies sort of focus on that. And I mean, I'm all for it. I do enjoy the idea of handheld gaming a lot. Do I use handheld gaming the way they use it in fucking advertisements on TV? When the guns, like, they're sat on like the fucking Eiffel Tower playing fucking video games? Like, no.
No rooftop Mario Kart parties, no.
No, but I do really love the idea of being able to play games wherever I want, however I want, and just in like the comfort of like a smaller device. I think that is really good, and I think Microsoft definitely, especially combined with Game Pass, I think you've just got to set up for a really good thing.
Yeah. Plus the Play Anywhere system they've already had in place for years, where you buy a game on Xbox, it goes to PC. That's absolutely fantastic, and it's incredibly consumer friendly, and that's the way that it should be going forward, definitely. So we are thinking that this handheld then is going to be similar to a Steam Deck, where the game runs off the hardware. Yeah.
For sure, it has to be.
Yeah, because the reason I ask is because on their website they already sell the Logitech G Cloud for cloud gaming. There would be no reason for another device at all.
No.
Like, it's because I've got this and it's perfect. There is nothing you can really add to a cloud streamer other than maybe the new generation Wi-Fi. That's pretty much it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you go down to the pub and you talk to your layman Jim Bob and you ask him, cloud gaming, what is it? He'll go, I don't know, bro. Get out of my face, you know. So
how are you gaming on the clouds?
Yeah, exactly. So like this thing, they are making a play to get as many people into the ecosystem as possible before it goes cloud based.
Yeah,
because they need the users in order to generate the funding to not make it a loss leader, which it currently is massively. It's the exact same thing Meta are doing. What, they're losing like $2 billion a quarter or something like that. They just need the users. It's what what's he called, the fella at Microsoft, the main guy, Phil Spencer. He said that he said that the PS4 Xbox One generation was the worst generation to lose. That's because that's when the influx of more casual people got into that space, and then now they're locked into their PlayStation console. They're not going to move to Xbox. So this is the next hurdle. This is the next leap before it goes to completely cloud-based, which it will do in the next 10 years once technology can allow anybody, regardless of internet connection, to play flawlessly.
Yeah, and it's the right time to be making this push as well, because PlayStation is still refusing to get with the times. Like, I don't understand why these companies don't learn between generations, because it always goes one way then the other, because one stays stubborn and think, oh, this worked last generation, so it'll work this generation. It's just never the case at all. The other company then adapts and wins.
Well, that's the thing, is someone's got to innovate, and whoever does it first tends to be the person who usually, well, at least gets the head start anyway. And Sony are very much, at least in my opinion, most of the time, they're not usually the ones to innovate. They're usually the ones to build on something that already exists, and then they do it well. But at least, like I said, since like the PSP, in my opinion, Sony haven't overly innovated in anything really. Sony do what they do well, but they haven't done anything innovative since the Vita, and they just gave up with that completely after like 2 years. They had it, and they were like way ahead of its time, but they did not support it whatsoever. They quickly gave up on it and just went, no, we're just not going to focus on this whatsoever. and I think that's a really bad move. I think they could have done so much more with the Vita, whether that was like a successor to the Vita or just keeping it updated to support, obviously not the PS5, but they could have supported it more into the PS4's lifespan. So it'd be nice to see Microsoft do something like this and then maybe push Sony into doing something as well.
So are Xbox massively far behind Sony in terms of like console sales then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, massively.
But that's wild considering the Series S exists. You know what I mean? That thing is so cheap and it runs everything.
I think even with that, it's still 5-1. Last time I heard.
That's mental. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh well. I hope that the Gambit works.
I think you underestimate how much exclusives pull people towards a console as well.
Yeah, and
like,
you think
PS5...
Xbox have more at this point, considering they've acquired everything. But
well, this is Xbox's first good year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. PlayStation haven't had a good year yet, in my opinion. But what they did have is they had a bunch of games from last generation, which people were playing for the first time on their shiny new PS5. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I will say as well, I do like that the Series S exists and that it gives people the option to buy into the Xbox ecosystem. I think it's good, but I do also think it is kind of detrimental because I have seen when a lot of new games come out, lots of technical reviews on how the games run between the S and the X, and the margins a lot of the time are really high. Like it's very different in terms of performance, to the point where I feel like it is detrimental because I feel like it just would be more beneficial if they just focused more on one machine that did what it needed to do.
Well, the bigger issue is that if a game, apart from Baldur's Gate 3, if a game goes to the Series X, they have to go to the Series S as well. They can't.
Yeah,
just
that's what I mean. I feel like it sucks a bit sometimes for them, but I wouldn't ever want to take that away from people. I like that Microsoft do that. I think it's good. I think it's great, in fact. But yeah, I don't know. It makes things difficult because, like I just said, that it needs to go to both systems. And that probably just is a big struggle for Microsoft to make sure these things run properly. And I don't know. I just think it's a bit... I think it can be a bit shitty for making games. When you have to try and cater to stuff like that. I just think it isn't good.
Yeah.
I think it's like a bad experience for the consumer, especially when these things don't run well. But you're advertising it as this can play anything. But it gets to a point where, like, technically it can play anything, yes. Is it going to play it well? Maybe not.
Yeah, it'll become a moot point once things move to the cloud more, and like you say, no one's running anything off hardware anymore, which is I think the way the industry is going to end up going eventually. Once
I mean, it'll happen at some point. As sad as it is, yeah.
But everyone will then be playing off the exact same hardware, no matter what. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good. It supports having the S there supports their strategy, which is like Niall said. Getting as many people just something to play their games on.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's. Have we got anything more to say on the Xbox, fellas?
No.
Cool. So Niall, you wanted to finish off with something.
Snile. Yes, I did.
So
Snile. Yeah.
Smile.
So if people didn't know, we every year. We've done a total of 1 year so far. We do a GOTY show where we talk about, or GOTY as some people call it. Where we talk
I just call it
about
Game of the Year usually, mate.
Game of the Year.
Yeah,
that's a mouthful. Yeah, where we look at all 4 of us are how long to beat, and then we basically make a massive list of every single game that we've played collectively and rank them and determine which game that we played that year is the game of the year. So I thought it would be in March, end of March. Well, when does this come out? Does this come out April? End of bloody March. We'll just give an update. So what I'll do is, because the way it works is that we end up basically battling it out between the top 16 games. I'm going to give you the top 12 that's currently there, just to show you guys. So we've got Turn It Boy Robs the Bank, which was a banger. You gave it 100. or 10,
Or 10 out of
depending
10,
on your
yeah.
scale. Yeah. And Alex gave it a 90, which gives it an adjusted score of 85.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Same score as Metaphor. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think that is wild. We have Metaphor ReFantasio. Then we have Not for Broadcast, which will win Game of the Year because it is the best game ever made.
None of us have played it. It must have
yeah,
an adjusted,
seeming a bit rigged,
adjusted
this.
score.
Yeah, no, it's got a -20, so it's still at 75. I gave it a 95. We got Pokemon Emerald because of someone.
What? All right.
Yeah. We got Cyberpunk 2077, Super Mario World,
Cracker.
Pikmin, The Legend of
is
Zelda
this
Twilight Princess, Super Mario World 2, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Rift of the Necrodancer, and Spider-Man 2.
Right, we
So
should
that's
we should definitely do 2 categories for Go Away. We definitely, because that is crazy.
Should we have 2 goatees where it's personal goatees and then also games that actually
Came out this year. Yeah.
Are we gonna have more than 4
What do you
to
mean?
talk
Yeah, I
about?
think so.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think everyone just needs to play more games.
Yeah,
Rather than all of them.
Came out.
We got
Yeah.
we got Death
Bro,
Because
Stranding.
I'd say
Niall.
10 of those games were just all of them.
Niall, you have to remember that this year alone, we have Pokemon ZA, Mario Odyssey 2.
No,
Mario
take that
Odyssey
one
two.
away.
Mario Odyssey 2.
Metroid Prime 4,
Metroid Prime
GTA
4,
6,
GTA
Yote
6.
Yote,
Death Stranding 2.
He's getting
Death
close
Stranding
to his
2.
microphone.
Mario Odyssey 2.
No,
as
No.
well.
that
Sony
thing is
two.
staying right down because it's not.
No.
It's not a
Nintendo
game
Switch
that's
two.
happening.
The point is, I think we should have.
You know what? We'll see how the list ends up being.
Yeah,
Because I also think it's good to mix in other games as well. Because that's the thing is we're not Primark. We're not in a fast fashion industry. Well, I don't want us to be anyway. Games are evergreen.
Yeah, but otherwise, Super Mario World 2 is gonna win.
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
No, but it could.
It
It's
won't.
not.
No, but I'm just saying we live in a world where something like that is possible. Turnip Boy,
Not because Metaphor ReFantasio exists.
What
Turnip
now?
Boy
So-
exists. What do you mean, brother? Turnip Boy's gonna win.
Turnip Boy's winning
it's not.
currently. It is winning currently.
Well, I'm still not being Metaphor.
No.
Yeah,
So-
you might if you give it a 6, then Turnip Boy wins, and then you just give it a 10 because you don't want Turnip Boy to win. So is it a real review at that point, Alex?
I will sit through 100 hours of Metaphor and give it a 0.
Just a Turnip Boy.
Just a Turnip Boy can win. But yeah, so it's just weird. It is a weird scenario where we're currently doing a Game of the Year watch, and I don't think we've mentioned one game that came out this year. Have we?
No, but because we only played so we got Avowed. Just came out
Avowed
this year.
That came out this year.
And I'm pretty sure that's the only game any of us have played which came out this year, and you gave it an 80. And so it came
Nothing's
out
come
as
out
a
this
6
year
game.
so far.
We're still early, aren't we?
It's still early.
Stuff has come out. Don't want to discredit the year.
No.
I think Split Fiction will be up there.
Split Fiction, yeah.
Yeah, Rift of the Necrodancer is in the top 12.
We just had a
Was that this year? Oh, of course it was. Yeah, that was this year.
We just had a Monster Hunter Wilds, which everyone loves.
I'm not playing that.
No,
shit.
none of
Well,
us
no,
are playing that.
No,
though.
I'm not. No, but my point is that the stuff has come out this year. There's been big releases.
You're trying to stop the year from feeling bad. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is exactly my point, though. Like, games...
What museum?
2
That's
Point Music, yeah. I still need to buy that at some point.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Games... I'm not disputing that games come out every year. They do. I'm just saying that we don't play very many of them. Oliver will play between like 10 and 12 new games, and the rest of us will play like 3.
No, yeah, probably. But when GTA 6 and Mario Odyssey 2 drop, it's gonna be a game changer.
I'm pretty confident neither of them are coming out this year.
Well, Mario Odyssey 2 is never coming out. Let's just get that. That's not happening. That's all. But GTA 6, that's going to slip into next year.
Spitting, yeah, I think it is. GTA 6 probably isn't going out this year.
Yeah, we just haven't heard enough at all.
So yeah, Expedition 33 though. That's
Expedition 33. Yeah.
7. That was another.
Oh, did you know that Expedition 33? Do you know who's in it? Charlie Cox.
Wait, really?
Daredevil. Yeah.
Damn.
I do love me Charlie Cox. He's a great man.
Yeah. So he's going to be in it. Also, the guy that everyone lost over from Baldur's Gate 3, he's going to be in it.
Oh,
Ben Starr.
Oh, Ben Starr wasn't in Baldur's Gate 3.
Have I got the?
You mean Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah, Ben Starr's Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I love Ben Starr as well. Did
he play Stroll?
No, Stroll is played by Dion from Final Fantasy 16.
That's what I'm getting confused. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense.
Great voice actor, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a new kid on the block, and he smashed it in Final Fantasy 16 and Metaphor.
He did. Everyone loves Stroll.
We do.
I just
I love
want,
it.
I just want Ralph,
Like I said.
Ralph Ineson, however you pronounce it, to voice more people.
Is that the
Play
gruff
Final
guy?
Fantasy-
One voice more.
That is the guy with a voice like gravel. Yeah,
The gravel, yeah.
it was in
No, yeah,
Ludwig. He was in that TV show I just watched. It was really good.
We get to
He's in
see
the
him.
IT crowd as well.
We get to see him on the big screen in July. When
Oh shit, he's Galactus.
yeah.
I know.
Is he?
He is. He is.
Ah,
Got
it
that
was
really
in
good.
it was in The Witch as well. You guys should
Yeah.
watch that.
He was indeed. All right, we're gonna close it off here, I think, fellas. Because what remind me? So the Switch presentation, that's on the 2nd of April, isn't it?
I thought it was
Yeah.
the 4th of April. Is it the 2nd?
No, it's the
It's the third.
second. It's second. It's Wednesday.
This date has caused more confusion than any date ever announced.
Next Wednesday.
So next Wednesday, right? So next Wednesday, we will be doing a live reaction to the direct for the Switch reveal and all that stuff, and then right after we're going to be recording a special of the PTR show to discuss it in depth. So look forward to that next Wednesday, the 2nd of April. But until next time, we shall see you later.
Goodbye.